Hi everyone, it's JL Rothstein here, author of the Heaven Sent series. My new book, Atonement, is out now. You can get it on Amazon or go to my website and visit me at jlrothstein.com. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to the Three Questions With segment. I am joined today by fellow author Theresa Jacobs. So welcome to the show, Theresa.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So excited to have you here to chit chat about writing and publishing and about your book. So you have two books you're going to talk to us today about. So you have Handsome, which was already out there in May, I believe, in 2020, and then The Guardian. So go ahead and hold those up and tell us a little bit about both books.
Okay. Well, The Guardian, which was just published in, what month are we in? It was published in August, actually, on my birthday, August 11th. And it is free for 5 days, and it's free for everyone, not just Kindle Unlimited. So if you have an ebook, you could get it for free. And it's #1 right now in young adult women.
Yay!
So very happy about that.
It's so exciting.
So just waiting for some reviews. And then my other one, which I will make free soon, is Handsome. And this is set in Toronto. It's about a serial killer and a young woman detective who is also gay, because that appeals to some people. And that is action-packed and very intense and definitely 18+.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing that and for holding up the covers. That's always so exciting. Congratulations for that spot. That is certainly difficult to do, whether you're giving away for free or not.
Yes.
So let's dive into some of these questions, because we were chit-chatting a little bit before I hit record about how it was a hectic day for you, as it was for me. So you're holding down a job, you're working full-time. How are you balancing writing with working full-time?
It is very hard to do. I do work, well, up until this nasty last 4 or 5 months. I would just come home from work and, do the dinner, walk the dog, and then just write until bedtime usually, because writing is my passion. So it didn't feel like work, right? Like I was just so into it. And then when a whole bunch of people got laid off and we were left with like skeleton crew staff, I was so tired. I was just coming home and crashing. So the past few months have been hard for writing, but I'm slowly starting to get back into it now that we're in, stage 3 and things are leveling out. So I'm back in my passion and just writing like crazy.
Yeah, and I would imagine, just like myself, like when you're getting ready for launch, because obviously The Guardian just came out, that's a different kind of exhausting, right? It's taking a different skill set. It's not just coming home and writing, but you're coming home and thinking about publicity and marketing and everything else. So balancing that's a third thing you have to balance with the writing.
Yeah, marketing takes as much time as writing. It's very hard. It's a hard balance.
Was that surprising to you that took as much time as it does?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think about that when I started self-publishing, that, you can't just put it on Amazon and walk away, because no one's going to know it's there.
Well, you could do that, but then you wouldn't sell any books, right? You could just,
that's right. You're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, you could just do that and tell people that it's out there when they ask you. But I think that was probably one of the most surprising things, is I knew, obviously, being self-published, being an indie author, that you would have to be in charge of all this, and that the more you talk about it and the more you put it out, the more you'll get back. But it doesn't translate until you actually do it, how exhausting it can be. So that's good to hear that it's getting a little bit better for you, and that you can return to a little bit more of a normal schedule. So in the process of writing and talking about the process of writing, do you outline before you write, or do you just write?
No, I'm a pantser. I just start, and it's funny because this is something that I talked about, I think, with Paul in my recent interview, Paul Lafferty.
Yeah, Down the Lane. Go, everybody go out by Down the Lane. Right. We love Paul Lafferty. We love Down the Lane. You got to go out and get that. Got to plug him. He's a friend of both of ours on Twitter and Facebook. So definitely a plug out, a shout out.
Coming soon. That's right.
Yes, a shout out for Paul.
Yeah. So but a lot of times I don't even know who the characters are, what their names are, what's going to happen. I just start page 1 and the story unfolds before me.
That's exciting. And I think a lot of people sort of like that idea, and it's appealing, but I think for some people it's also scary. I don't know where this is going to take me and where I'm going to end up when I get to the end of it. And in doing that, do you find that it's difficult at the end to actually form that into a story, or you just feel like you could just go with it and you like where you end?
Yeah, for me, it's like watching a movie unfold, and I'm just relaying the movie to the page. So that's what keeps it fresh and exciting for me as well when I'm writing, is that I'm always excited to find out what's going to happen next. Same with the reader. And I also write that way where, you're going to have kind of like downtime
Yeah.
because you can't always have plot driven things happening every single page.
Right.
But I do try to keep them really tight because if I start to get bored when I'm writing, I'm like, okay, people are going to get bored reading it. So
Yeah.
then I'll let it sit for a couple of days. I'm always working on 2 to 5 projects at the same time. So I'll go to a different project and let that one sit and then go back to it when it's fresh again.
Yeah. Would that be part of your answer to the third question, which is what advice you have for new writers, would be to sort of flip like that and let things marinate a little bit before you go back to them?
Well, that is actually good advice, but one of my main advice to new writers is just to keep writing. And if you find that you are stagnating with one project, don't just leave it and give up. To find something else that is exciting, because that other project is always going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Because
I think
that's
that's good.
part of
I
our
think
passion.
that's good. Yeah, I think that's good advice. It kind of never leaves you, right? Like if it's there and you've been
Right.
writing about it, it's not like that goes away just because you stopped writing it. And people have asked me for similar advice, and I always go back to Neil Gaiman's advice, which is to finish. Don't, go back and
Yeah.
finish it and finish what you write and move on to the next thing. So that is spectacular advice. What is next for you?
Currently, I'm working on book 2 in it's the actual Detective Gagon series, because that's going to be possibly 10 book or more series about the
Oh my
detective.
goodness.
So every story is going to be a fresh murder, something different
Yep.
happening. There's going to be new characters introduced. Some of the characters who are in Handsome are just going to grow throughout the series, and their lives will change, and you're going to see how that happens. I started another actually children's story, which I wasn't even planning on doing. And this is how it always happens to me. I just get an idea. And this idea was, what if a witch's familiar was actually the one with the magic? And witches don't have any magic, but they don't know that. So this is a little story about young witches and their little familiars, and the familiars decide that they're tired of doing all these mundane things that witches want them to do, and they leave. So now the witches are left without magic and they don't know what's going on. So it's just a fun little story for kids.
that,
Um,
that sounds it.
yeah, I'm also I have written a screenplay with my best friend, and that's a Christmas comedy. So we're just trying to get that picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on a web series as well. So I
Well,
have lots
that
going
you
on.
are you are extremely busy. I don't know how many more things you could have going on at the same time and working and promoting. So I'm so grateful that you took a few minutes to come on and be on the segment with me and chit chat about writing and talk to the audience about your books. And I hope everybody goes and checks out. I'm assuming all your books are available on Amazon.
Yeah, on Amazon, and I put most of them on Smashwords as well, so that you can find them on Barnes and Noble, Apple, Google, like all the other big top places as well.
Excellent. Well, I hope everybody goes out and finds those and checks them out. They're certainly covering a lot of genres out there. So there's something for everyone out there. So I hope they go and they check it out. And thank you so much again for coming on the show. And thanks everybody for tuning in and watching.
Thanks for
Bye.
having me.